yesterday we had seen some problems related to a single string which contain like finding the length of the string, that is the position of \0, that will be the length of the string. Hello. हाँ हो आहे की देतो एक मिनिट. That is to find the length of the string. That was our first job. Then we had gone for counting the words. Then different types of printing, like character by character, word by word, word plus length, printing in reverse. All these jobs we have done yesterday. Then we have gone for multiple spaces. Then changing the case, lowercase to uppercase and so on. And finally we had seen coding and decoding. Okay, anything else that we have seen yesterday? Anything else other than this that we have seen yesterday? Lord, that is changing the case. And some counting problem as how many uppercase are there, vagara vagara. Now today's job we will continue with writing the functions. First of all, let us write a function isUpper, to which we will be passing a single character C, and this function is supposed to tell me in yes or no whether the character is uppercase. So yes or no, that is true or false. The return type will be integer. When will it say yes? When it is uppercase. What is the condition to check whether the character is uppercase? If C is greater than or equal to capital A and C is less than or equal to capital Z, return 1, otherwise return 0. Similarly, you can go for functions like isLower and so on. We will go further to write some string functions, like finding the length of the string. The function name is strlen, to which we will be passing character type string, array of the character type array, that is array S. So string has been read by somebody and we are required to simply find out its length. Length of the string is nothing but the position of \0. Position of \0 is the length of the string, and so we want to return the length, that is integer. We will start with saying I equal to 0, and while s of I is not equal to \0, we will go on incrementing I equal to I plus 1. When we reach the position of \0, that position itself is the length, will return I. Function strlen. We can write one more function, say strcpy, that is to copy one string into another. So if string S1 is like this, and string s2, which might contain some data, may not be any data over there, whatever is the case. But we want to copy s1 to s2, and you cannot just copy it directly like copying the integer. You will have to copy it character by character. Okay, so 0th position character of s1 should be copied to 0th position in s2, and so on. So to this string copy, I will require two parameters. First of all, the string into which we want to copy, the string. So why the sequence should be character array s2, then character array s1, is because of the same policy as that of assignment. You tend to say something like a equal to b, and b will be copied to a. So instead of reversing the sequence as character s1 s2, so from s1 to s2, we will try to preserve it. Otherwise it could be in any manner, but I am going to write it in this way, that string s1 should be copied to string s2, position by position. We will start with first position, position 0 of string s1. Position 0 in s1 should be copied to s2 in the same position. So I don't require two indexes. s2 of I will pick up the character at s1 of I. So a will be copied, and then I will say go to the next character. And so I gets incremented, I becomes 1. s1 of 1 is not equal to \0, will be copied to s2's 1. s2 of 1 equal to s1 of 1. This character will be copied, and we will continue. It will copy all the characters, and when I becomes 5, then s1 of I becomes \0. The loop will be terminated, but this string is not yet closed. That was the point I was stressing yesterday, that the input will put \0 at the end of the string, but otherwise it will not be there. Like over here, it is not copied because we are writing it like this. We will have to copy it separately, saying that s2 of I is equal to \0. Because I has reached position 5, we write \0 over there. What will this function return? Nothing. Going to be a void type function. It will be copied. String s1 will be copied to string s2. Obviously, we can write it in the simplest form as for I equal to 0, s1 of I not equal to \0, s2 of I equal to s1 of I, comma I equal to I plus 1, semicolon. A single for loop without a body. Afterwards, we are required to say s2 of I equal to \0, of course. Could be a two-line function. So you can write it using while, or you can write it using for. And I am leaving this job to you to write functions like is lower, is digit, is alphabet, is alphanumeric. Taken a single character, it should answer yes or no. जैसे इज अपर लिखा है वैसे इज लोअर लिख सकते हो आप. इज डिजिट उसी तरह से सिंगल कोट 0 से सिंगल कोट 9 तक. इज अल्फाबेट it could be uppercase or lowercase. So in that case you can check if is upper C or is lower C, return 1. Instead of writing a condition having 4 sub conditions into it, like otherwise you will tend to say C greater than or equal to small a and C less than or equal to small z, or other condition. Instead of writing all this, because we have written is lower and is upper, you can make use of it and say if is upper C or is lower C, return 1. Once you write is alpha numeric will say that if is alphabet C or is digit C, return 1. So it is like building the blocks. You start with the basic block, based on it you build the second one, third one, and so on. So all these functions you are required to write. Example I have already given, is upper. So according to is upper, one should write the remaining functions. For assignment or copy, I am using right to left policy, and from here we are starting with 2 strings at a time. Till that time it was a single string, whatever the discussion we had yesterday. And all these functions that I am asking you to write, all these functions will deal with single character, and all of these will answer. So argument for all of them is a single character, and all of them answer true or false. This is like a question, all these 5. But sequence should be is upper, is lower, is digit, is alphabet, is alphanumeric. Okay. Now let us write the next function, which is called as concatenation of 2 strings. For example, if string S1 contains, say, what? Say numerical, and string S2 contains programming. And then I want to copy this particular string at the end of string S1. That is called as the concat. Job is to concat S1 by S2. The name of the function will be strcat. strcat char S1 by another string S2. Now from where we should start copying? From the end, from the position of \0 in the first string. So first job will be obviously to reach the end of the first string. So I will reach this position. You will have to replace this \0 by the first character of second string, because otherwise after that \0 if you write, it will never get accessed, because you will be always going up to the \0. Okay, so you will have to first of all replace that \0, but which character? 0th character from S2. So I will require one more index. Now it won't be the same position. S1 and S2 will carry different positions. So I has already reached position \0, whereas Z I am starting from position 0 in S2. And as long as string S2 does not get over, that is while S2 of Z is not equal to \0, in S1 at position I, you should copy the character at position Z in S2. That means this character P will now replace \0. You will have to advance, because now next character should be written ahead. So you will have to say I equal to I plus 1. So this will go ahead to the next position, and you want to copy the next character, so you will have to say j equal to j plus 1. So then r will be copied. So like that they will move. When j reaches \0, this loop will get terminated, but then again the same problem, \0 is not copied. Okay, so you will have to exclusively write that \0, that is s1 of I is equal to \0. Job is done. Function does not return anything. We require two indexes, I and j. Function called as string cat. And then a function to compare two strings called as strcmp. It is not the equal to comparison, but it will also say which string is less than which string. Like if one string is this and the other string is this, which one is less? First of all, it is not the comparison of the length. It is alphabetical. So A is equal to A, B equal to B, H equal to A less than Y. So first string will be less. Got it? If it would have been then which string is less? Second. Then the second string is less. Okay, so it is not the comparison of the length first of all. It is alphabetical. You will have to compare character by character. Of course, the same position characters. This strcmp returns 0 when s1 is equal to s2, returns negative value when s1 is less than s2, and returns positive value when s1 is greater than s2. So it is not true and false first of all. It is something more than that, because even the third answer is there. So it is not string equal but string compare. It should give us the full answer, whether they are equal. Like in this case, if it would have been equal, it is returning 0. That means string compare being false indicates that the two strings are equal, in other words. And string compare being true indicates that the strings are not equal, because whether it is negative or positive, it will be still a true value. Any non-zero value will be true. Okay, so string compare returning 0, that is false, indicates that the strings are equal. String compare returning true indicates that the strings are not equal. But it is not to be used in true and false manner, and that's why we will check whether strcmp is returning 0. In that case, strings are equal. If it returns negative value, then first string is less than second, and if it returns positive value, first string is greater than second. Not the comparison of the length, it is comparison alphabetical. Okay, so same position characters are to be compared. I don't require two indexes. I will simply say while s1 of I is not equal to \0, as long as the first string does not end, and the character at position I matches with that of character at position I in S2. Go to the next character. With the same example, it will straight away take us till position 3, because till that time everything is true. and when it is false, it will break the loop. After breaking the loop, I am simply saying return S1 of I minus S2 of I. Now what will it return? A minus Y. Will it be positive or negative? We have seen it yesterday. Because Y will have higher ASCII value than A minus Y will be negative. So it returns negative, that is first string is less than second. Okay? If it would have been something else, so first example, that you can even write down the examples also. This was first case. Second is, Bolo, can you give me an example? Now, till this level all the characters are equal. Here is \0. So it will return A minus \0. \0 has ASCII value 0. It will return positive. It will return positive. There is no need of comparing something like because it fails right at the first point. It will return A minus n negative. Okay? Any other example? Not no. When did I say that? I said that character A minus A is 0. A has got value 65 or what is the other value? 97. 65 is upper A, lower A, upper A. 65 is the ASCII value of capital A and 97 is the value of the small a. So they are not 0. Okay? Next example, we want the example for equal, no? Now what happens? All the characters match. When it comes out, both of them are at \0. \0 minus \0 will be 0. Getting it? Make a note. String compare, string concat, string copy we have done, string length we have done. For the time being, this should be sufficient. And let me tell you one program that we want to write after this. Think on it. We will have 5 minutes, 10 minutes break, then continue. I want you to think and then answer. It's not a program on arrays. Some of you might be knowing it, some of you may not be. I want you to accept two dates, D1 M1 Y1 and D2 M2 Y2. Okay, two dates. So date, month and year. 2 digit, 4 digit. Of course, you cannot put any restriction. All are integers in that case. I want you to find the number of days between them. The exact value. I want you to find the number of days between these two dates. Okay, think. हाँ
So आपण नीला आणि नील compare करतो.
हाँ
So A minus backslash 0 is positive.
a minus backslash 0 is positive.
So मग ते वरती परत return करतोय.
It will return the positive value. Yeah. So first string is greater than second. It is greater. Actually, your question should have been, what if the second string ends first, like it is happening? Yeah. But that doesn't matter. At that time, this condition fails. If the second string ends first, I am not putting any check for whether the second string is ending. If the second string ends first, that's why I have taken this example. In that case, this condition will go false and we come out. Fine. So we are not going ahead of backslash 0 in the second string. And for first string, though, we have already put a condition. Okay. It will be only the case when this is true or this is false and S2 also has ended here. In that case, it will be 0 minus 0. Nahi to, I don't have that example where the first string is ending first. It will be 0 minus backslash 0 minus some character. It could be 2 and 2. In that case, first string will end first. So this condition will be false. You come out, it will return backslash 0 minus O will be negative. And first string is less than second. So far as first string is ending first is concerned, fine. If the second string ends first, then this condition will be false. Obviously, it is going to be a positive answer. First string will be greater. So I want you to think on this, to give me the exact answer. Simple plain English logic will do. Don't attempt anything in C. You cannot think in C. So job is to find the number of days between two dates. Bolo, how to proceed? For example, today is 29th, no? 29/7. These two,
Yes, sir.
that comes out to be 10.
So when we subtract the months,
Huh?
find the difference between the months.
5.
And so we see the first starting month, which is a lesser month. In the first date, which is the lesser date,
Huh.
the bigger one.
Huh.
And then according to that, we check whether it is a odd month or even month. According to that, we get the 31 days or 30 days or 28 days if it is the second month in the year.
Huh.
Then we move on to the years.
Huh.
So according to that, years we'll subtract the years.
Huh.
And then
That comes out to be 37.
so in those 37 years,
Huh.
so 66 to 03,
Huh.
so we'll first check out how many of them are leap years. So by dividing it by 4,
Huh.
after we find out the leap years, we'll add those many days in the addition of the month and the date.
Suppose the second date would have been 8th January 2004. Now,
So we take the mod of it, take the positive value of the difference.
take the positive value. That gives you 11. What about next?
So it will be after 12. So after this, so it will be greater than the. So that is what we are doing now. So we will find which is the greater date than the previous one first.
But greater date is obviously this. It will be compared on the year.
Yes, sir. So we will be taking that as the first date to be compared with.
So this is the first date. This is the second date.
So the 19 to
19th Feb 1966 to 8th January 2004. Because if I go as per user logic, difference is 1. Okay, and this difference comes out to be 38. Nikhil, I will be 38 years old on 19th Feb 2004, where you are making me older by 1 month, 11 days and almost as many as 40 days.
Check the difference between the months, which is the greater one. Then accordingly that.
Because previously you were fortunate enough, it was the correct answer, 37 years, 5 months and 10 days. Of course, I want it in days. That was the correct answer at that time. First of all, I want number of days, and that too I said that accurate. So I will change it slightly to make it say 8th August 2003. First of all, can you tell me which years are complete? 67 to 2002. Okay, so my logic will go like this. Accept D1, M1, Y1 and of course D2, M2, Y2 in sequence, so I don't want any comparison here. Then I will say days equal to 0, that is a counter. I can go for saying that from y1 plus 1 to y2 minus 1, days equal to days plus days of year. What should I call this? For y equal to days of year y. So this days of year will give me either 365 or 366, dependent on whether it is leap or not. So I first of all get rid of all the complete years in between. One job is done. So now the dates that I am considering, I will have to calculate number of days from 19th Feb to 31st December 1966, and then from 1st January 2003 to 8th August. Both the years are not complete, right? For that I will do it this way. I can say that from M equal to M1 plus 1, that is March, to 12 days equal to days plus days of month M, that is from March till December in 1966. This days of month is capable of telling me whether the days are 30 or 31 or 28, etc. Now this 28 is bothering me, and that will say that I will have to even think that it is based on year Y1. Fine, I'm right now I'm starting with February, so the very first problem will not be there, because from March till December it will be usual independent of Y1. But if this date would have been from January, then the first month is February and I should know the correct number of days, and that will depend on the year of that will be Y1. Fine. So I got all the complete months in the starting year. From M equal to 1 to M2 minus 1, that is from January till July in the second date, I will have to do the same job. Days equal to days plus days of month M in year Y2. That year is required only to check whether the February has 28 or 29. Otherwise all other ones are fixed. Got it? So I got all the days from March till December in the first and from January till July in the second date. Then I will have to say days equal to days plus days of month M1 in year Y1. In this month, how many days are there? Minus the date, क्योंकि उतने डेज बाकी होंगे उसके, फ्रॉम 19th till 28th or 29th. Okay, so minus D1. That is the number of days in that February. And then finally, days equal to days plus D2. Okay. This will give us the correct answer, provided that days of year and days of month, they behave properly. Provided that they give us the answers correctly. So in that case, days of year can be written based on leap. That is, if y%4, if it is equal to 0, return 366 leap year, otherwise return 365. So far so good. Then days of month, how do we write days of month? Int m comma int y. First of all, it will depend on if m is equal to 2. February पहले decide कर ही लेते हैं. Dependent on if y%4, if it is equal to 0, return 29, else return 28. February has been sorted out. After that, not all odd. January, March, May, July will have 31 days odd, and August, October and December even months, but will have 31 days. And I don't want to write 11 if statements. You can very well do that. If m equal to 1, return 31. If m equal to 3, return 31. So we can go for if m%2, if it is equal to 1. That means it is odd month. बराबर है. And m is less than or equal to 7, return 31. If m% 2, if it is equal to 0 and m greater than or equal to 8, return 31. August, October, December. What will be the next condition? If else return 30, क्योंकि we have tackled with all the other cases. अब जो भी months बचते हैं they will have 30 days. Right? So now we have assured that these two work properly. Okay, so I want you to make down first note down the algorithm and these two functions. Then we will write the code. Then we will give the test dates. Then we will find out the failure cases and then we will modify the code. Or in the meantime, if you get the failure cases, tell me. And all. I will straight away start with the assumption that the data has been inputted. So I start with the code saying that days is equal to 0. All the previous things are already there. For y equal to y1 plus 1, y less than y2, y equal to y plus 1, days plus equal to, I am introducing a new operator here. Whenever you want to say a equal to a plus 1, you can always say a plus equal to 1. Means the same thing. So days plus equal to days of year y. So it will add to days of year y and will put it again in days only, like that. Okay, as days of year is working properly, I am not bothered about this for loop at all. Logically we are through. We go further for excuse me, m equal to m1 plus 1, m less than or equal to 12, m plus equal to 1. I am making the changes now step by step, though we have not yet learned the operator plus plus. I will say days plus equal to days of month m comma y1. I require the year code. Another job done. For m equal to 1, m less than m2, m plus equal to 1, days plus equal to days of month m comma y2. Then days plus equal to days of month m1 comma y1 minus d1. Right? This is all we have written it. And then days plus equal to D2. Should give me the answer, right? Let us try. First January 2003 to 31st December 2003 should give me answer as 365. Test, because how will you test it? It is always going to throw some number onto you. Are you going to calculate it? No way. This answer should be 365 or 364, and from 1st January 2003 to 1st January 2004 it should complete 1 year. Let us see what answer it gives. 2003 plus 1, 2004 less than 2003, false. It won't enter. Correct, it should not. M1 plus 1, that is from February to 12. Okay, from February till December it is adding all the days. बराबर है. 365 minus January के 31 छोड़ दो. That gives me 334. So it has added 334. Then second, starting from January up to November it will add in the second date. That will again add 334. Is it not? We have written the code thoughtfully and we find that 334 has been added twice. That doesn't end. It adds, comes here, days of month M1 31 days minus 1 will add 30 and plus D2 will add 1. And we were expecting some answer like 364. Fails. Expected was 364. It has simply failed. Okay, let it fail. Let us try for 1st January 2003 to 1st January 2004. First loop, will it enter? No. 2004 less than 2004, it won't. Second loop, it will enter once again. From February till December, that is 334 it will add. In the second case, m equal to 1, say m less than m2. 1 less than 1, false. It won't enter into the second loop. Good. We go ahead. Days of month M1. अरे यहाँ गलत है यार. This should add 31 ना. D2 add करना था. So it is becoming worse now. Even 30 days are added. In after that, so here it has first, it has not entered anything. इसमें भी नहीं किया था enter first loop में. Second loop से 334 add हो गया. Third loop में it is not going to entering. Next loop it will be 31 minus 1 will add 30. And last loop will add 1, giving me the correct answer 365. Conclusion, it does not work in the same year. It won't work for any date in the same year. Even if it is from say 19th Feb 2003 to 29th July 2003. It won't work because it is going to add from March till December and January till June. These two loops are responsible for that. So these two loops should not be executed if the year code is same. So if y1 is not equal to y2, then only execute these two. लेकिन otherwise क्या करेंगे हो? If the year code is same, then I should go from M1 plus 1 to M2. I should go from March till June. Okay, so I will just shift it up slightly. So I don't want to execute both of these, m equal to 1, m less than m2, m plus equal to 1, days plus equal to days of month m comma y2. That was my earlier code. Else I will say for m equal to m1 plus 1, m less than m2, m plus equal to 1, days plus equal to days of month m comma, चाहे y1 लिखो y2 लिखो, they are same. Good. We come back to this testing. This was my first one. Now in the second case, this won't work. It won't enter into that block also. It will straight away go for calculating the months. So ये इन दोनों के बजाय क्या आने वाला है? From February till November. So it will be 365 minus 62 days. January भी नहीं आता और December भी नहीं आता. That means 303 days will be added. बराबर है ना? Then days of month M1, that is 31 minus 1, will add 30, and then we'll add good 364. Is it going to hamper this solution? No, because it will still follow the same path. y1 is not equal to y2. अभी तो हमने पैचअप सिर्फ इतना ही किया था. y1 not equal to y2 is still valid, so this answer will still remain the same. I have not touched anything else. I have just added this part. Fine? Is our testing through? No. This has given me the hint. Same year ki hint thi wo. I go further and say that from 3rd July 2003 to 29th July 2003, it won't enter into the first part. Even that second block जो था उसमें भी कुछ नहीं होने वाला, because m1 plus 1 से m2 तक, so 8 and 8 less than 7, it won't do that. Days of month July minus, that is 31 minus 3, will add 28, and then we'll add 29. So fails. And when is it failing? Same year, same month. Not only same month, because same month it is working properly. Same month, different years, there is no trouble with that. It is same year, same month condition that is failing. Any suggestions? Answer in that case should have been 29 minus 3.
Put this entire thing into the under one loop and say if M1 not equal.
Huh? Huh? Where should I write that? इस else के बाद this is the thing that I had. You can at the most put a condition over here saying that if M1 I'm not getting the condition. I would prefer to put it this way: if M1 equal to M2 and Y1 is equal to Y2, then days is equal to D2 minus D1, else this will be better.
Condition before for and after the else too. Exactly after else.
हाँ
If we write that if M1 not equal to M2 and then Y1 equal to Y2. Then if we go through that loop, in the month will be
See,
calculated for-
one thing. See, the manner in which I am making the modifications is I am as far as possible not trying to change the existing code. I am not trying to change the existing code. I am exactly pointing out where is the problem and I am putting a change over there only. I was through till this point. I was not bothered that month problem was not there only. Even if it is July till July, I know that neither through this nor through this I am adding any month fully. My problem was only with the last calculation. So I will just check when this last calculation is valid in all cases. If the year is same and months are different, it works. If the year is different, month is same, it works. It fails when year is same, month is same. This fails. That means this should be under the condition that at least these two should not match. So it should be in the else. They should not be equal. And when they both of them are equal, only that patch up I require. So I am not going to read the entire code and scan it again. No, not required. When will you think of it? My question is, now that the entire code is in front of you, you can do it or do the optimization in any manner. That I leave it to you. What should be the thinking process? We were through with that logic. Nobody has objected at that time. We did not put any objection till we came to this sample case. When we found the failure, that failure was months and months. Full months getting added twice. So I eliminated only that part, saying that if year code is same, it should be M1 plus 1 to M2. That patch up I did. In thinking process, one has to go in same manner. It works for 2 different years, but in the same year, if the months are there, then you will have to write a separate loop. Correct. So I only have that patch up I have done. Then I come to this case. That means I am through with the logic till this level. So no need of going back and making any changes here. In that case, you will need the checking of your program right from the first date. सभी ट्रायल्स फिर से लेने होंगे आपको in that case. Make those changes and tell me whether it works or not. But that is a further optimization of this. We are still in the thinking process. We are trying to develop the code. Then one particular level should be made through. Then we go to the next piece of code. Then I am not going to look back. Not required, because this is the way in which I am getting it. I am safely saying that no complete year is added, no complete month is added. My problem is only with the last 2 statements. So I will put a condition only to the last 2 statements and make it work. Make a note.